Welcome to Technically You, the podcast where we take deep dives into the tech that keeps everything running. Today, we're talking about something that might sound complicated, but is actually a game changer for businesses and ISPs alike. BGP Dual Homing and Multi-Homing.
That's right. If you've ever wondered how major businesses keep their internet connections rock solid even when one provider fails, this episode is for you. We're about to break down what dual homing and multi-homing are, how they work, and why they're critical for network resiliency.
Okay, first things first, BGP, or Border Gateway Protocol, is the backbone of the internet. It's what helps different networks talk to each other and route traffic efficiently. Dual homing and multi-homing are two strategies businesses use to ensure they have continuous, high-performance internet access.
Exactly. Let's start with dual homing. It's when a network is connected to two separate connections from the same internet service provider, ISP. This setup provides redundancy and can prevent outages if one link fails.
And then there's multi-homing, which takes things a step further. Instead of relying on a single ISP, a network connects to multiple ISPs. That way, if one provider goes down, the other takes over, keeping everything running smoothly.
Sounds great, right? But it's not as simple as plugging in two internet cables and calling it a day. To set up dual homing or multi-homing, there are some key requirements. Autonomous System Number. Your network needs an ASN, which is essentially a unique identifier allowing it to participate in BGP routing. BGP configuration. You must configure BGP on your routers to manage and balance the connections. Redundant routers. For maximum reliability, using multiple routers to handle connections is highly recommended. IP addressing strategy. You need to properly configure IP prefixes and ensure failover mechanisms are in place.
And if you're multi-homing with multiple ISPs, you'll also need BGP peering agreements with them and possibly provider-independent IP address space.
All right, now let's get into the nuts and bolts of how these setups actually work.
For dual homing, your business has two connections to a single ISP. Your router advertises your IP range to the ISP, and the ISP routes traffic through both connections. If one link fails, traffic is automatically rerouted through the other.
Multi-homing is similar, but instead of talking to just one ISP, your router is communicating with two or more ISPs. BGP is responsible for choosing the best path for incoming and outgoing traffic, optimizing speed and reliability.
One of the best parts of multi-homing is that it enables load balancing, spreading traffic across different ISPs to maximize performance and prevent congestion.
Now, the real magic happens in the BGP configuration. Here's a quick rundown of what's needed. Let's start with setting up peering sessions. You'll establish BGP sessions with your ISPs using your ASN. Next, the prefix advertisement. You'll advertise your IP blocks to your ISPs so they can route traffic to your network. Now it is time for the routing policies. You can set up local preference, AS path prepending, or MED multi-exit discriminator values to control how traffic flows. And finally, the failover mechanisms. You configure route maps, weight attributes, or community tags to prioritize paths in case of a failure.
And remember, monitoring your BGP setup is crucial. If something goes wrong, you want to know ASAP to prevent downtime.
All right, so why should businesses invest in these setups? Let's break down the benefits. 1, uptime and redundancy. With multiple connections, a single link failure won't bring your entire network down. 2, two-dot load balancing and performance optimization. Multi-homing allows for distributing traffic efficiently, preventing congestion. 3, ISP flexibility and cost savings. With multiple ISPs, businesses can negotiate better pricing and avoid vendor lock-in. 4, security and DDoS protection. BGP route filtering can help mitigate certain cyber attacks by directing traffic more securely. 5, global reach and scalability. Multi-homing ensures optimized global routing, which is especially useful for enterprises with international customers.
Of course, no setup is perfect. Dual homing and multi-homing come with a few challenges. Complex configurations. BGP can be tricky to configure correctly. Higher costs. More connections mean higher costs for bandwidth, IP addresses, and maintenance. And route instability risks. Poorly managed BGP setups can cause erratic traffic behavior.
But with the right planning and expertise, these can be managed effectively.
So, should your business go for dual homing or full on multi homing? It really depends on your uptime needs, budget, and technical capabilities.
Exactly. If uptime is critical, multi-homing is the best bet. But if you want redundancy on a budget, dual homing is a solid option.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. If you found this useful, be sure to subscribe to Technically You for more deep dives into networking, cybersecurity, and IT best practices.
And don't forget, redundancy isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Until next time, stay curious, keep your network strong, and your packets flowing. See you next time.